Welcome to Lumion Central, and in today's video we will be taking a look at the top 10 strongest angels in Lord of the Mysteries. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. Now without further ado, let's get straight into it. Kicking us off at number 10 is a three-way tie, that being between the God of Wisdom, God of Storms, and the Eternal Blazing Sun. Now at the time before they, betrayed the Ancient Sun God and were just simply members of the Rose Redemption, they each had two Seekers One characteristics and no uniqueness, so as simple as the King of Angels can get, and were each well strong in their own way. Let's move on to number 9. At number 9 is War Angel Medici. Now Medici is a bit different than the other King of Angels that were at number 10. This is because he controls the uniqueness of his pathway, but only one Seekers One characteristics. But because he does control the uniqueness of his pathway, this gives him, the name of half a true god and allows him to have a 3-line honorific name similar to the other true deities. That's why he's at number 9. Let's move on to number 8. At number 8, I am placing the Chained God, who is slightly above Medici simply because he controls one more Seekers One characteristic. This means he has two Seekers One characteristic and the uniqueness of his pathway. Now unfortunately, he did get corrupted by the Mother Tree of Desire, and she took away one of the characteristics away from him. Let's move on to number 7. At number 7 is George III, arguably the greatest fraud in Lord of the Mysteries. Now of course he controlled the Black Emperor pathway and had 3 Seekers One characteristics of it and the uniqueness of it, but he still unsuccessfully became Black Emperor and got stopped by a Sequence 3 Scholar of Yore. Now yes, I know Klein had the help of multiple angels and a Sequence 4 Demonist, but that still doesn't make it any better for him. This is why he places relatively low for someone who had everything to become Sequence 0. At number 6 is Half-Fool Antigonus, who controls 2 Seekers One characteristics and the uniqueness of his pathway. Of course, his pathway is the Fool pathway, and the reason he places above George III, even though he has one less characteristic, is because I believe the Fool pathway is better than the Black Emperor pathway, and also George III is just a fraud. I swear I'm the biggest hater of George III, but whatever. Let's move on to number 5. At number 5, I am placing Amon, who in his prime as an angel controlled 3 Seekers One characteristics and the uniqueness of his pathway. Now, even if he didn't have all 3 Seekers One characteristics, he would still be this high. This because he was born a mythical creature of the Marauder pathway and perfectly embodies it. Let's move on to number 4. At number 4, and just slightly above Amon, is Adam the Spectator. Now in his prime as an angel, he of course controlled all 3 Seekers One characteristics and the uniqueness of his pathway. Now he places above Amon simply because of his planning capabilities. I believe that Adam is a smarter opponent to face and someone that is capable of creating plans over thousands of years. Of course he is secretly the ancient sun god, so that helps his case as well. Let's move on to number 3. At number 3 is Bethel Abraham, also known as Mr. Door. Now in the 4th epoch, even true gods were afraid of him, which just shows you the kind of man he was because he was simply a Sequence One. Now of course he did ultimately come back with a lot of corruption from the Mother Goddess of Depravity. Now when he did come back, he automatically tried to ascend and do his apotheosis ritual to become a Sequence Zero, but he willingly gave it up to Amon, which is a common misconception I see. Amon didn't forcefully take his apotheosis ritual. Mr. Door gave up his apotheosis ritual to Amon, successfully freeing himself from the corruption, but ultimately dying in the process. Now, this just shows you not only was he strong, but he was also a kind person. Someone who was feared by the whole verse, but wasn't afraid to help out his future descendants and make sure they never freed him. Let's move on to number 2. Now number 2 and number 1 are really a toss-up. I'm not sure who to place where. This is because they are both known as King of Angels. This means they have partial control over their according Sephiroth and can temporarily use abilities from their neighboring pathways. That is absolutely broken, and unfortunately I do have to pick one to place at number 2, and that is gonna be Sasrir. Now Sasrir was a King of Angels of the Hanged Man pathway, also a very strong pathway, and of course as I mentioned had partial control over the Chaos Sea, his Sephiroth. This means he can temporarily use abilities from the rest of God Almighty's group's pathways. Let's move on to number 1. Who else could it be but our boy Klein Moretti? Now of course he was the other King of Angels who could even temporarily keep up with other Sequence 0 gods. This is ridiculous to think about because when you, advance from Sequence 1 to Sequence 0, you experience a true qualitative change, giving new abilities, new powers, and authority over your pathway. Now Klein could keep up with these gods as a King of Angels, showcasing off just how powerful he is. That is why I am placing him at number 1, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Would you place Sasrir or Klein at number 1? Or maybe Mr. Door? Up to you. Let me know what you guys think, and yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what other videos you want to see in the future, and make sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos. See you guys in the next one.